They say that the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But what if we look at a serious perspective and say, the best way to improve the economy is to give light on the gastronomy? The Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry Incorporated, in its advocacy of improving the lives and livelihood in the community, is staging the 4th Food and Beverage Expo 2021 with the theme F&B, Adapting Through Innovation and Reinvention. The CSCCI redefines and reshapes the perspectives of food and beverage business in the light of the new normal. There are a lot of things in store for us in this year's Fabex. Testimonials of successful food and beverage enterprise with their best practices, to setting up online food business, to the discussions on what's in and hot in the food business, shall be in store for everyone. And there's more. World-class national restaurateurs shall be gracing the event. Adding excitement to this event is a cooking competition among aspirant cooks in the city and the province. This is the 4th Food and Beverage Expo 2021. Register now for free. We would like to thank the following sponsors for the 4th Food and Beverage Expo 2021. Bronze sponsor, Diageo Philippines Incorporated. Silver sponsors, Bean Leaf Coffee and Tea. Gold sponsors, Samyup Masarap, Tugawe Cove Resort, Department of Agriculture, Region 5. We would like to thank our valued partners for the year 2021. Province of Camarines Sur, Department of Agriculture, Region 5, Department of Trade and Industry, Angina Trading, GCI Construction and Development Corporation, Jurassic Construction and Supplies, Pixeled Solution, Medlane Enterprises, Ngo & Sons Trading and Industries Incorporated, SVM Marketing Solutions OPC, Tugawe Cove Resort.
Ibalik natin ang sigla sa agrikultura. Kabataan, kampan mo na dahil ikaw ang pag-asa. Pati mo ipunla, pangarap mo at adhika. Eto't simulan mo na, kabataan, mamuhunan ka. K-A-Y-A, kayang-kaya natin to. K-A-Y-A, kabataan, kaya mo. Kinabukas ang gusto mo, kayang-kaya mong itayo. K-A-Y-A, K-A-Y-A, kaya, 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 kaya. Di na problema ang puhunan dahil nariyan ang paraan. Bukas sa'yo ang pintuan ng ating pamahalaan. Huwag na itong pakawalan, huwag ka nang mag-alinlangan. Sigurado pang kabuuan.
kayang-kaya mo na.
Sa kaya, kayang-kaya mo na.
Sa kaya, kayang-kaya mo na.
Sa kaya, kayang-kaya mo na.
Kinabukasan gusto mo, kaya-kaya mo itayo. Kaya.
Solar-powered irrigation systems harness both surface water sources and solar energy, making it a climate-smart and innovative energy technology. Solar panels powered by abundant sunlight facilitates water pumping. The solar irrigation is worth 6 million to 7 million pesos. It has the capacity to pump an average volume of 1,000 cubic meters in 6 to 8 hours period, enough to irrigate 10 to 20 hectares of rice field during a single irrigation cycle. Its storage tank has a carrying capacity of 200 cubic liters, and its surface pump can discharge 33.4 liters per second. This modern irrigation system is suited in a small rain-fed areas of 10 to 35 hectares rice field, where big irrigation systems are not feasible. It utilizes open water sources like lakes, rivers, and creeks. The solar-powered irrigation is estimated to give additional 100,000 pesos income to farmers. During dry months, irrigation is usually done every day, which costs farmers 22 liters of diesel per irrigation cycle when using water pump. With the presence of solar-powered irrigation, farmers need not to spend a centavo on diesel as sunlight powers the solar panels.
Kaya ito, nakagagastos po ng malaking paggastos ng krudo. Ang mga 22 liters noon. Sa ngayon, medyo po maluwag ng para oma dahil sa dahil na kami po nagagamit po ng krudong maray dahil po sa natitipid na kaining solar power system project galing po sa DE. Kaya nagpapasalamat po kami kay President na nabigyan kami ng ganitong project.
The Department of Agriculture has already established a total of 14 solar-powered irrigation systems in the 3 provinces of Camarines Sur, Albay, and Camarines Norte since 2017. More farmers groups are clamoring for this climate-smart and energy-saving technology. The DA must invest more on this project to achieve its goal of achieving food self-sufficiency.
Nagsimula ako sa farming at 14 years old. Since I had income, ang ginawa ko, bumili ako ng isang baka, and it was a small cow. So for 3 months, I fed it, tapos pinataba ko siya, and 3 months later, I sold it at around, I think it was 26,000 pesos, and binili ko siya for 8,000 pesos. So medyo naaliw ako sa farming, and I got into farming and I started growing my own ingredients, and slowly lumaki siya until now I grow a 4-hectare cacao farm.
Yung pagiging isang young farmer ko is, I can say na I'm proud of it. Hindi ko kinakahiyang nagbubungkal ako ng lupa at nagpapakain ako ng mga hayop. Regardless na kahit artist na ako. Kasi for me, ito yung pinaka-simula or root natin. Na kung tutuusin naman, kung babalikan natin yung dating panahon, ganito tayo nagsilas. simple lang yung buhay.
Ang naging journey ko po sa pagiging young farmer is marami na po akong trainings and seminars na nasalihan po. And that's boost my self-confidence in dealing with other people. Mas marami po akong napupuntahan and mas marami po akong nalalaman in line with agriculture.
Isa pang binigay sa akin na pagkakataon ng Department of Agriculture ay yung mapasama ako sa Young Filipino Farmers Leadership Training in Japan. Bakit natin to kailangan? Para matutunan natin yung mga ibang technologies na wala dito sa atin. Yung mga possible doon na posible din pala dito sa atin.
Ang naitulong ng Department of Agriculture and ATI sa amin bilang mga farm family is yung mga trainings and seminars na pinapatupad nila, ginagawa nila. Kasi dahil dun po sa mga trainings and activities na yun, mas nagkakaroon kami ng malalim na kaalaman pagdating sa agrikultura. Kasi kung anuhin natin, tingin natin sa agriculture, basta lang tayo magbubungkal, magtatanim tayo. Pero agriculture is more than that. Ito, may tinatagong yaman sa agrikultura.
I think sa agriculture ngayon, maraming pagsubok. One of them is climate change. So, typhoons and natural disasters talaga yung kalaban for a lot of us farmers. Another thing is the negative stigma sa mga farmers and young people especially. So, maraming tao sa Pilipinas, parang tingin nila sa farming is pag inisip mo farmer, first thing na iisipin mo, pagod sila, maitim, or naghihirap sila. And hindi naman yun maganda. So we want to change that language starting from the school level and then slowly growing up na ipakita natin yung pinakamagandang example natin sa agriculture.
May isang part sila kasi na hindi nila nakikita sa farming. Yun yung enjoyment na binibigay. Sa dragon fruit farming, doon ko natutunan yung sinasabi nila na farming is not just to produce vegetables, it's a business.
Ang maaari ko pa pong magawa bilang isang young farmer upang mapaunlad ang sektor ng panghahayupan ay ang patuloy na pag-aaral at pananaliksik ng iba't ibang pamamaraan sa panghahayupan.
Maging mabuting example sa image ng ibang tao sa mga farmers. Pag naging magandang example ang isang farm mo, sana mga hikayat rin yung ibang tao or ibang kabataan na bumalik sa farming. Bilang isang IT graduate, parang gusto kong mag-implement ng technology sa farming. Ibang klaseng proseso naman.
Sa akin kasi, I'm a young person. Just being a young person in agriculture is already a contribution. Kasi ngayon, the average age of farmers in the Philippines is 57 years old. So we need to continue having more young people in agriculture to ensure food security. Second is to have more young people because we need more innovation in the field of agriculture. A lot of our agricultural methods are still very old, but more young people in agriculture can actually change the tide for agri, that we can have more food production that's more environmentally conscious and more sustainable.
Medyo marami ng kabataan ngayon na ayaw na magbungkal ng lupa, ayaw na mag-alaga ng mga hayop, ng mga halaman. I would like to encourage you guys na there is money on agriculture. There is future in agriculture. Why not itry na muna natin bago natin sabihin yung mga negative na pumapasok sa isip natin kapag naririnig natin ang agriculture.
So bilang kabataan po, para mapaunlad pa yung pagsasaka natin, kailangan huwag natin ikahiya yung pagsasaka.
Ang mensahe ko naman po sa kabataan na sana maisip nyo na ang pagpa-farmers ay napakahalaga sa ating buhay kasi dyan po ang ating pinagkukunan ng pagkain, dyan po tayo nabubuhay.
Suportahan niyo po at gawin niyo po ang agriculture. Kasi po ito ay importante para po sa ating kinabukasan, para po sa next generation na maari pong mabago kung tayo po ay magmamahal at gagawa ng paraan upang hindi po mawala ang agrikultura.
Ang binhi na aking itatanim para sa kinabukasan ng pagsasaka ay ang binhi ng pag-asa, na kung saan pag ito ay tumubo ay magiging hitik na hitik sa bunga, na pag nakita ng mga kabataan ay magkakaroon sila ng pag-asa na tangkilikin ang pag-aagrikultura.
I think my message sa kapwa kong kabataan is, number one, most importantly, take on responsibility. And taking on responsibility for me is through stewardship, through agriculture, in producing food for others. And you can easily apply yourself within your community, within your economy to help more people. So I always say to people that That's because agriculture is a direct indicator of God's blessing on a people and a nation. And more young people should realize that there is unbelievable potential and opportunity. Hindi lang sa just like, your idea of pagsasaka, but in different fields, whether it's through community service, through environmentalism, through supply chains, through production and research. There's so many ways you can contribute as a young person in agriculture. So try it. Try nyo. You grow your own food and understand what it is to be immersed in a community of young people who are passionate about farming.
Ang maaari kong itanim na binhi para sa pagsasaka, hindi lang para sa akin para sa lahat, ayun yung seed of wisdom. Kung meron tayong seed of wisdom na itatanim sa bawat puso't isip natin, pagdating sa agriculture, alam ko lahat tayo lalago, lahat tayo yayaman ng sabay-sabay. Kasi lahat tayo may alam, lahat tayo may awareness sa mga nangyayari, kung anong pangangailangan talaga ng bawat isa. At napaka-importante na sa araw-araw na kumakain tayo, sure tayo na 100% healthy at organic yung kinakain natin. Kasi tayo mismo yung nagtanim, tayo mismo naghirap para mapapalago at mapabuhay yung mga kinakain natin sa araw-araw. Ikaw!
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 Ikaw! Handa ka na ba?
Kinabukasan ay ating paghandaan. Simulan nang itanim ang butil ng kasaganaan. Sama-sama na buhay natin ay pangalagaan. With agriculture, let us all together secure our future.
Welcome to the Kamsur Business Expo. Every year, from July until October, the CSCCI stages a series of conventions for the major industries in the province of Camarines Sur. Each event combines technical seminars from industry leaders with the virtual trade fairs that highlights products and services from the Bicol region and beyond. This year, we are hosting the 4th Kamsur Business Expo under the theme Ready for a Better Normal. For over a year, the business community has struggled to meet the demands of the new normal. But today, the 4th Kamsur Business Expo is proof that we are strong enough to overcome these challenges, smart enough to evolve, and ready for something better. The first event of the Expo is the 3rd Kamsur Construct titled Resilient and Sustainable Infrastructure in the New Normal. Led by Chairperson Erlyn Nicole Canada, this conference will feature new and emerging trends in the field of engineering and architecture. This will be followed by the first Health and Wellness Expo, themed Evolution of Healthy Lifestyle. Coming this August, under the chairmanship of Dr. Ryan Bastaleche, this convention will focus on the transformation of healthcare and the importance of self-care in trying times. In October is the 4th Bicol Agri Summit entitled E-Agri Summit 2021, Yield, Innovate, and Sustain. Under the leadership of Ms. Regina V. Melchor, this event promises to bring innovation and enthusiasm back into agriculture. The CCCI will hold the 7th Regional Youth Entrepreneurship Congress under the banner of Dynamism in Entrepreneurship for a Better Normal. Headed by Ms. Maria Eusebia Quiñones, the RYEC is determined to channel the energy and creativity of youth into a passion for business. Meanwhile, the 4th Food and Beverage Expo, or Fabex, to be chaired by Ms. Maria Cecilia M. Magtuto, entitled F&B 2021, Adapting Through Innovation and Reinvention. This is expected to stir up some excitement for the food and beverage industry. As you can see, the 4th Kamsur Business Expo is ready for a better normal, and it's about to get even better. A highlight for this year is the launch of our very own virtual events and expo app, specially designed by the CSCCI to make conferences just like the Kamsur Business Expo an immersive and interactive experience. Ladies and gentlemen, join us for a quick tour of the world inside CSCCI Vertex.
The threat of COVID-19 has changed the Philippine socio-economic landscape in many ways. Over a year, we have been forced to choose between safeguarding our personal health and our own economic survival. But now, there is a better choice. There is a safe space where we are free to work, to socialize, and do business, where we can be a community. Welcome to the world of CSCCI Vertex. Experience our immersive and interactive digital platform where online meetings, webinars, and virtual events are just one click away. Where you never have to leave the comfort and safety of your own home. Bringing together all the elements of a real business expo. This digital platform not only hosts virtual events, but also features an interactive virtual exhibition hall where consumers can explore, shop, learn, and be entertained. With CSCCI Vertex, businesses can showcase their products and services, link to external websites, offer downloadable content, monitor participation, generate electronic certificates, manage mass SMS and email distribution, and create a consumer database effortlessly in real time. This is the power of CSCCI Vertex. And now we are putting this power into your hands, powering your business for a better normal.
Geared at improving and uplifting the lives of every Bicolano entrepreneur, and founded on establishing resiliency and sustainable business in the new normal, the Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry Incorporated, under the leadership of Ms. Soledad V. Magtuto, in partnership with the provincial government of Camarines Sur, under the leadership of Governor Migs Villafuerte, brings you the Camarines Sur Business Expo 2021. The different sessions will showcase the fusion of engineering, architecture, health, food and agriculture, and a whole lot more.
This is the synthesis of engineering and architecture. This session infuses the legal aspects along with the innovative and strategic approaches to constructions, surveying, design, plumbing, and waterworks. A resilient and sustainable infrastructure and the new normal.
Nothing more precious in these trying times than a good health. It is only achieved when one is driven towards wellness. This event enables one to be conscious and health-wise amidst the prevailing plight of the global pandemic. Moreover, it will also discuss the evolution of the healthy lifestyle over the years.
Our all-time heroes against hunger and poverty. The farmers have their time to convene with the ins and the latest trends in competitive farming. This is the time for them to say yes, to yield, innovate, and sustain. The Bicol Agri Summit showcases all the best in agriculture and livestock industry through a digital approach on production, agricultural innovation, and sustainable industry on farming.
Tapping the power of the youth in nation building, the Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry continuously involves the participation of the youth, who will soon be the empowered individuals in the business sector. Supplementing what these young minds have in them with the potent wisdom of experts, establishes connection between the experience of the veterans and the immense strength of the youth. Focusing with the dynamism of the youth sector in entrepreneurship.
The advent of Food and Beverage Expo establishes a fresh new start for budding businesses. Food services remain to be the most lucrative commercial source of finance. The fresh idealism and vigor of the young merchants complement the promising success of F&B industry. This is the reinvention and transformation in the food and beverage aspect of business.
This is the Camarines Sur Business Expo, your one-stop quarterly event, an assembly of business and industry fusion, inspiring the entrepreneurial world and strengthening the voice of the business sector.
CamSur Business Expo, supporting the growth and development of MSMEs.
Solar-powered irrigation systems harness both surface water sources and solar energy, making it a climate-smart and innovative energy technology. Solar panels powered by abundant sunlight facilitates water pumping. The solar irrigation is worth 6 million to 7 million pesos. It has the capacity to pump an average volume of 1,000 cubic meters in 6 to 8 hours period, enough to irrigate 10 to 20 hectares of rice field during a single irrigation cycle. Its storage tank has a carrying capacity of 200 cubic liters, and its surface pump can discharge 33.4 liters per second. This modern irrigation system is suited in small rain-fed areas of 10 to 35 hectares rice field, where big irrigation systems are not feasible. It utilizes open water sources like lakes, rivers, and creeks. The solar-powered irrigation is estimated to give additional 100,000 pesos income to farmers. During dry months, irrigation is usually done every day, which costs farmers 22 liters of diesel per irrigation cycle when using water pump. With the presence of solar-powered irrigation, farmers need not to spend a centavo on diesel as sunlight powers the solar panels.
Kaya ito, nakagagastos po ng malaking paggastos ng krudo. Ang mga 22 liters noon. Sa ngayon, medyo po maluwag ng para-oma dahil sa dahil na kami po nagagamit po ng krudong maray dahil po sa natitipid na kaining solar power system project galing po sa DE. Kaya nagpapasalamat po kami kay President na nabigyan kami ng ganitong project.
The Department of Agriculture has already established a total of 14 solar-powered irrigation systems in the 3 provinces of Camarines Sur, Albay, and Camarines Norte since 2017. More farmers groups are clamoring for this climate-smart and energy-saving technology. The DA must invest more on this project to achieve its goal of achieving food self-sufficiency.
Please secure a strong internet connection for a more reliable and stable viewing experience.
welcome back. And national protocol, always wear your face mask dahil nandito tayo sa loob ng cooking arena. Habang naghahanda ang ating mga competitors sa kanilang mga workstations, on screen is our live cooking competition rules.
Competitors were chosen via the first to confirm, first serves rule. They have registered on or before the due date November 15, 2021, Monday. Competitors must also wear clothing consistent with professional and safe food handling practices while competing and at the award ceremony. Each team member is required to wear closed-toe shoes and a hair restraint. Cscci will provide the apron and mask. Purely Laulao, no specific ingredient or sponsor. Bring their own Laulao fish. Only edible garnishes are allowed. Strictly, no electronic devices are allowed in the competition. This includes cell phones, smartwatches, or other communication devices. Participants must bring all needed small utensils and kitchen equipment such as chopping board, knives, pots, pans, bowls, plates, as well as other materials needed to cook and serve.
Without further ado, pumasok na tayo sa ating cooking arena. Here in this arena, you will see our final 5 competitors together with their assistants. You will also see here our timer at the center of our arena as guide for our competition. The only people allowed near our competitors are our judges and of course me. Lastly, our committee duly checked their equipments and the ingredients they're going to use based on the mechanics. Final 5, are you ready? Ready! Oras na para simulan ng ating 4th Shine Laulao Shine Cooking Competition. In 3, 2, 1, let the competition begin! Pero rato po. It's almost 30 minutes out, so guys, meron na lang kayong 15 minutes to go to finish your dish and to present it to our judges. Okay, so 15 minutes more. Okay, you're now down to 5 minutes. Finish your dishes, ready your plates, and you have 5 minutes to present your dishes to the judges. will begin our countdown in yung last 10 seconds para pressured yung ating mga participants. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hands up, guys. Natapos din ang kani-kanilang mga dishes. Sino kaya ang papatok sa mga judges sa ating mga competitors? Sa ating competition, they finished their dish in 45 minutes. So, very good. And well done, competitors. Anong dish kaya ang papatok sa ating mga judges? Find out dito sa 4th Fabex Shine Lawlaw Shine Cooking Competition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for the 4th Food and Beverage Expo 2021. Bronze sponsor, Diageo Philippines Incorporated. Silver sponsors, Bean Leaf Coffee and Tea. Gold sponsors, Samyup Masarap, Tugawe Cove Resort, Department of Agriculture, Region 5. We would like to thank our valued partners for the year 2021. Province of Camarines Sur, Department of Agriculture, Region 5, Department of Trade and Industry, Angina Trading, GCI Construction and Development Corporation, Jurassic Construction and Supplies, Pixeled Solution, Medlane Enterprises, Ngo and Sons Trading and Industries Incorporated, SVM Marketing Solutions OPC, Tugawe Cove Resort. Plenary Session 2. Trends Today.
Our first speaker for this afternoon is a multi-awarded author of cookbooks and owner of successful restaurants like Cafe Isabel and Gino's Fine Dining. He is the president of the Culinary School Center for Asian Culinary Studies, and in between teaching, he does food styling as well as food consultancies for hotels and restaurants. And, take note of this, recipe research and development for food companies. He is also an authority in wines and other beverages like coffee. He is the first local chef who introduced gourmet cooking on television in the 1980s. He has also had a cooking show in the lifestyle network called Gene's Cuisine. He is currently a writer for Manila Bulletin's Taste, and he has been chosen to judge along with a panel of Asia's gourmet celebrities at the prestigious Best of the Best Culinary Awards in Hong Kong. A world-class chef, for more than a decade, Chef Gene concentrated on updating his culinary skills abroad and sharing it with his students at the Center for Asian Culinary Studies. He also has a food and beverage consultancy company, SFBC, aside from running his own restaurant, Cafe Isabel, and Gino's Fine Dining. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our first speaker for this afternoon, Chef Gene Gonzalez.
Good day to everybody, and I want to congratulate the organizers and the participants of this 4th Food and Beverage Expo here in Kamsur. And I was asked to give a talk that would be probably inspirational or probably that would spark a certain interest in people. And I don't want to deal with a lot of numbers, a lot of statistics. I'm a chef. And that's all there is to it. my focus will be on food. And be focusing on food, let's do this while I'm talking, okay? Let's do a coconut rice. Since we're in the Bicol region, and coconut remains supreme, so this rice has been pre-washed, and we're going to use this later. And there will be other kinds of other types of dishes that I will be pointing out to you. But okay, let's put in our water and our coconut milk. Okay? For a cup and a half of rice, I just did 1 cup of coconut milk, and another cup and a half of water. Okay? Okay, for softer rice, you can probably do 1:2 of liquid. And to give it a nice Bicol flavor, lubi-lubi. Okay? We'll give a leafy character to our coconut rice. Give it a nice leafy fragrance. And we'll be using this later once it cooks. All right. So that's easy. Okay, there you go. So we'll just wait for that to cook. I am not going to be presenting recipes. I am going to be showing you methods, and I will try to spark the interest and see what you can pick up from what we are doing. Just like this coconut rice that I am just cooking right now. I'll come back to you. I'm gonna set up this table and I'll show you, and let's start cooking. This is what I want to convey to everybody here. What is the most common and inexpensive food that you might be able to get? Especially whether it's on the street or in a fast food place. It's the sinangag combination. And why should we always have to imitate? Why should we always have to have tosilog, tapsilog, bangsilog? Why should we always have this? Especially in a place like Kamsur or in a place like Bicol region. It should have its own character. It should have its own signature. And there are so many variants that you can make with rice that are equally as tasty and as creative, making use of the signature products of Kamsur and the Bicol region. All right, so let's start. My coconut rice is still cooking. Remember, I did that a while ago. Okay, so let's start with some oil. Dinailan or balaw. Okay, absolutely delicious. Some people in the Bicol region are a little touchy about this thing, especially to foreigners. But why? Why? It's a full rendition of umami. And I'm going to mix this with just a little water to get it started. And let's make that version of shrimp paste or bagoong rice, making use of our local. Going to put in some garlic. Very typical fried rice na bagoong style. And this is day-old rice. Very firm rice. No? Buhaghag siya. And we are flavoring this with dinailan. Okay? No more salt. No more vetsin. Because this is already umami at its peak. And we're using that water to moisten our rice. And look how beautiful that color is. Wow! Wow, that is truly very aromatic. And like I said, look at that color. Okay, so our rice is done. Okay, let's give it a nice stylish mold. It has the signature of Kamsur. And we're going to put a mix or mayrad of flavors. There you go. I've already placed some danggit. I placed a little laing. Okay? Okay, we can put in some tomato. You can put in some onion. Some Philippine mango. Okay? Looks very much like the Thai, but what's special with this? We have the laing and we have our tocino. Oh, di ba? Meron signature na Filipino at merong signature na Kamsur. Maybe a little toasted garlic. And of course, syempre, signature of the area. Lagyan natin ng sili. And that's it. That's your balao or dinailan rice. People have been looking at what is happening and what is right now. The extra efforts that we have to do, which is beyond or which is what you call the new normal. Okay? But what's good about it is we're backed up by the infrastructure or better infrastructure of technology and communications. You're eating in Kamsur, but people from Manila will immediately see what you're having for breakfast or what you're having for lunch. And you have a backdrop of all the tourism areas that are important. You will see what people are eating in an instant. And this is what is important. The far reaches of our country can be reached now, and all the beautiful areas can be shown, and we don't have to destroy the beautiful areas because of responsible tourism and sound ecological preservation. Right now, people are more learned. You know, they used to kill a lot of the sharks, okay? And now it's become a tourist area. They used to kill a lot of the animals or birds or what, or hunt. But now, these things are all preserved for ecological tourism and for the value of nature and how nature will help proliferate the value of tourism. Okay? What used to be hunted or what used to be overfished are now being cared for by the people who live in the area themselves. And these natural inhabitants, like the sharks, the fish, the birds, and wildlife, have been giving their hand into fostering better tourism sites and values. Okay, our coconut rice is still cooking, but I did a batch yesterday and I refrigerated it to get the grains of rice to maintain their individuality, so that when we fry it, we're pretty okay. Okay, again, we're now going to make fried coconut garlic rice. Okay? So, here's our garlic. Our garlic is now going on a light gold, and we can put our coconut rice. See, the grains are individual, but you've got some really beautiful aromas of coconut there. And this gives the individuality, and it really gives a signature to your area. The Bicol area is very close to me because years ago, during Madrid Fusion, I was asked by Governor Salceda at that time to man the Bicol booth. And I said, what do I know about Bicol food? So we went all around the Bicol region. We ate our way, and I found how exciting the local food was. We ate everywhere, on the highway, we ate in little places, we went to nice restaurants, and this really gave me a lot of inspiration to showcase the food of Bicol in an international setting. In fact, I even matched it with wine because I'm a wine lecturer. And the most patronized booth was the Bicol booth because people wanted to try it out. Like I said, if you explain the dishes very well, here's some salt. If you explain the dishes very well, people will take on to it. And that is exactly what happened in our Bicol booth. Okay? Oh, by the way, yung mga up and coming resorts dyan, yung mga ginagawa pa lang, we do consultancy work. I have a consultancy team. The biggest buffet system in the country with so many branches in the SM Mall, we did that. We did a lot. We did resorts in Boracay, and they have iconic dishes like the oyster sisig and the 4-cheese pizza. Kami gumawa nun. Alright, so this is done. Okay, so this is coconut fried rice with our daing na bangus. Alright. Siyempre, baka gusto niyo lagyan ng signature. There you go. You can put your signature on these products, no? On this very inexpensive, very good breakfast fare. Almusal, tanghali, hapon, even dinner. Okay? And we have one more dish which we're going to pair off with our laing and our inihaw na bangus, na boneless. Okay? We will just be waiting. It's just going to take a few more minutes and our freshly steamed coconut rice is ready to be served. Better communication has also fostered better food promotion. Better food promotion presents local culture in its easiest form. The fastest way to learn about the place is about the food. I'd go to a place where there's a small hotel, or even in other countries, you'd ask, where can I eat here? Where can I eat local food? Oh, there's a place that serves spaghetti, fried chicken, and no. I would tell the persons, I want to eat the local food. But people are very shy. People don't want you to go to a workman's carinderia, or people don't want you to go to a place where they have the local food. And sometimes, they take for granted what is local. They're very shy, very hard to open up because people don't realize that it is what is special. It is what makes the area unique. And this is daily food of people. As long as a dish is well explained, people don't have to be shy. If you explain a dish very well to a domestic or to an international or foreign tourist, they will take to it. They will want to try it. The results could stimulate the curiosities of these visitors. Signature products will mean signature dishes or dishes that speak or evoke of the local eating. Okay na to. Okay, so let's take a look at our steamed coconut rice. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, wow. Nice steaming. So aromatic. So delicious. And, of course, with the Kamsur signature. And I hope this thing can inspire you because we can really be proud of our cuisine. Okay? Whatever region there is, Philippine cuisine rocks. There you go. Look at that. Nice and steaming. So beautiful. Okay? Lagyan natin ng signature. Oh, yan. And that's our presentation for the day. I would like to thank Kitchen Pro. Okay? Everyone in the hotel and restaurant business in the resorts. Okay? My knives, my Kitchen Pro, are really tops. These are used by all the commercial kitchens, by food processors and all that. Extra sharp, very durable. It took us 3 years of testing before we even brought this out. Okay, the scissors and the cookware. The cookware I used, okay, this is all Kitchen Pro, even the beechwood kitchen utensils. Okay, I'd like to invite everyone to come to Cafe Isabel when you're in Manila. Come and visit Cafe Isabel. Also, I have 34 books that are being sold in National Bookstore. You may take a look and use it for your references. I would like to thank you for inviting me today. Good luck, Kamsur, and I'm going to visit one of these days. Thank you very much, and good day to all of you. Diyos mabalos.
Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry Incorporated, in partnership with the provincial government of Kamsur. Kamsur Business Expo 2021. Ready for a better normal. Fort Food and Beverage Expo. Present this plaque of appreciation to Chef Gene Gonzalez for extending his invaluable contribution and unwavering support as our speaker, contributing to the success of the Fort Food and Beverage Expo with the theme Adapting Through Innovation and Reinvention, given this 3rd day of December 2021 at Kamsur, Philippines. Signed, Chairperson of the Fort Fabex, Ms. Maria Cecilia M. Magtuto. Expo Chairperson, Kamsur Business Expo 2021, Ms. Maria Emma F. Lorin. President, Maria Soledad V. Magtuto.
Our next speaker is a British-born chef who moved to the Philippines 25 years ago. He is currently the Program Culinary Director at the Center for Culinary Arts Manila, which includes the prestigious ICDE Escoffer program in partnership with Hong Kong and France. He is also associated with the HAU Pastry and Culinary programs in Pampanga and Agripreneurship with UAP Manila and Los Baños. He started his career in the kitchens at the age of 14, gaining his City and Guilds 1, 2, and 3 qualifications in London. Chef Philip was awarded a culinary scholarship with the prestigious Forte Hotel Group, where he trained for 8 years, working in Michelin-starred restaurants located in London, France, and Italy. Chef Philip is also the founding chairman of Disciples at Escoffer Philippine Chapter and the founding director of the Golding Hospitality Group, which specializes in business development and talent management here in the Philippines. Chef Philip continues to share his knowledge and creates events with his young chefs, transferring the knowledge and growing the generations of Filipino chefs and service crew. He works on promoting progressively his expertise in Mediterranean, French, and Asian cuisines. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our second speaker for this afternoon, Chef Philip John Golding.
Thank you so much, Jad, from the studio. Now, trends today in the world of amazing foods and beverages, that is a gigantic topic. We know that, but right now we are zooming in to what's in and what's hot in the Philippine culinary pot. Joining us is Chef Philip John Golding. Hi, Chef.
Hi, hello everybody from Manila.
We have prepared some questions for you, from the participants, and also from people who are really interested in this subject, in this topic that we have for you. But first, let me ask you a little something about your any favorite expression when you cook, Chef?
Flame
favorite
on.
Flame on. Wow.
Flame on. Flame
Ah,
on.
flame on. Yeah,
Flame
that's
on,
really
yeah.
interesting. First time to hear that. Flame on. And also, you have popular prodigies like our very own Bicolana and also Chef Luis Mabolo. Now, what is the highest compliment of praise for your students that you can give?
What is the highest praise or compliments I can give? Oh, what a great dish. Fantastic. Yeah. Wow. Love that food, right?
I would love to hear that if I will be your student. Are you ready, Chef, with the first question?
Yep, I was born ready. Are we ready?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Born ready. Now, in this day or age of new normal that we call, where people are wary of eating outside with prejudice, of course, on health protocols that we have right now, how would you suggest restaurant owners encourage patrons to dine in their restaurants, aside from the usual health protocols imposed by the government?
Okay, so first of all, there's nothing normal about what's going on. It's abnormal, right? So basically, I've been saying this for 2 years. There's nothing normal. We're not prepared for this. It's not going to normalize. All right. So basically, it's that no one saw this coming, and we're on uncharted waters, unprecedented waters. There's nothing normal. We don't have to adjust, right? It's just that we don't know what's going on, right? But we understand that our industry is upside down completely, right? So we're completely upside down. It's disaster for hospitality more than anybody. It's disaster for education. To teach chefs via online, we adapt, but there's nothing that would use the word normalize, right? At the end of the day, it's that we need to get back to where we were somehow. It's going to take some time. Meanwhile, we have to reinvent and we have to embrace technology, and we have to just be very diligent in the way that we tackle this virus, right? And other viruses that will come. So we have to have protocols in place. We have to have checklists in place, and we have to do the best we can And I guess, unfortunately, or that there is a trend now for people to want to have more take-in food, not going out. Therefore, a behavior pattern has come about where people are just more comfortable in ordering in. And that's sad for many restaurants because it's not just about food, but it's the experience of dining. So who's really hit hard? Well, we're still cooking, but we don't have service. We don't have wine service. We don't have front of house, which is 50%. Well, for me, it's 80% of the experience of going out. Whether the food is okay or amazing, service for me and hospitality is very, very important to us running the business of restaurants, resorts, islands, and somewhat tourism, right? So kitchens will go on, but my heart goes out to our service and chefs that decided not to cook in the kitchen anymore, but go to front of house, bartenders, mixologists. I mean, 70% of our restaurant team is at the moment at home.
70%. Okay, now that segues to our second question. There is a move now by the Philippine government, specifically Department of Trade and Industry, to regulate the famous adobo, favorite of Filipinos, adobo, according to the standards set by a panel of culinary experts. Now, what is your take on that? Do you think the positives has outweighed the negatives on this?
Okay, so this is a very, very touchy subject. And I'm part of the tester board that just reassessed modules for tester. And actually, it's a great team. It's an amazing team. They have such a background. So in terms of the kitchen, let's just say that in terms of standards of modification of skills, in terms of butchery, fishmongery, which we have Palenque butchers, but we don't really have skilled butchers, or if we did have, most of them outside the country. There are very few craft butchers. Fishmongery is something that I grew up with in the UK, and that when you go to a Palenque or to a market here, you may see some skills, but it was never a profession. So in terms of professionalizing those badly needed skills within the markets, within fabrication, there's a good movement towards professionalizing that. In terms of standardization, you can't standardize adobo in Manila that comes from another province, right? You first of all have to go to the base of the ingredient, whether it be fish sauce, tatapute, whatever it is. You first of all have to work with the regional area. CCI is playing a major part with my faculty that were my students in 2001, 2002, that are seasoned professionals now that have come back to the campus to really redefine. And when I say redefine, we've got to go back to heirloom recipes, Bicol, Pampanga, wherever. Have a look at why that recipe historically came about. So can you standardize it? Not really, no, you can't, because it's regional, and one province may be famous for its coconut milk, another province may not have coconut milk. So there'll be adaptations of that dish, and it would be sad to standardize and say, this is adobo, right? But in terms of measurements and balance, in terms of flavor profile, sour, sweet, salty, I think we have to get that kind of right, because you have to get the balance of the profile right, so that it's not too acidic or too sour or too salty. There should be some form of education within weight management in terms of weighing things out, much like we do in pastry. But, you go to a restaurant and one day they'll put 2 cups of soy sauce in, the next day they put 3. We need consistency to run restaurants, right? If it's in the house, well, it's up to you, right? I mean, you don't have to be so but if you're going to promote that dish, it needs to be consistent. And that's always been something that has been somewhat a challenge in the Philippines in my 27 years. Restaurants come and go because they're not consistent.
Yes. So that's the topic about adobo. We love the diversity from different provinces, and we would like to encourage that kind of creativity from different groups as well.
But understand the why. Understand the why. Going back to that question, understand what why. Question why is that dish? What is really adobo? You know, and then everybody has an opinion about adobo. And then, of course, you know, look at the historical, like kare kare. Let's talk about other dishes. Adobo, okay. Adobo is just one of thousands of Filipino dishes. But you talk about kare kare. So originally, people say that the Malaysians came here and they were trying to do a curry, but they could only find 4 ingredients, right? Chilies, peanut, and 2 other ingredients. So kare kare. But do we have a Filipino curry? Could we have a Filipino curry? Yes, we could. We have coconut milk, we have chilies. So I think the next generation of chefs owe it to their provinces to look at the history and therefore set maybe a modern approach, but working very closely with the farmers and the fishmongers and the produce relevant for that area that could be part of the food tourism map, we call it.
Yes. So thank you for that, Chef. Next question is, what do you think is the future of the culinary industry here in the Philippines? Is there something exciting that we can look forward to? You get that, Chef?
Yeah, I got that. Sorry, something came up on my screen then. Okay, so again, in terms of trends, is that what your question again was? Could you just clarify that question again?
Yeah, the future of culinary industry here in the Philippines. Is there something that we can look forward to? Something great, even in the midst of pandemic season that we have?
Well, we all need to eat, and it's a necessary. So there's always fun to eat. I mean, I wouldn't say that, you know, although it's been challenging to the industry, you know, the show must go on. And in terms of food packaging, food innovation, people cooking more at home, which is a great thing. Going back to baking, you know, looking at ingredients, people modernizing their kitchens that maybe they left to the yaya or the maid before, and then all of a sudden the maids and yayas can't come to cook in the house. Therefore, the family is left to bond. You know, cooking is about bonding. It's about sharing stories, community. So I don't think it's ever been a damper on it. It's just that, you know, we've been chained to our abode. We've been chained to the community that we're in, and travel. You know, we love to pick up books and look at all these exotic or all these interesting flavors from around the world. So I think that it's quite an exciting time, definitely, for people to rekindle, relook, pick up a book, go to the web and look at these dishes. And I believe that that's been happening quite a bit. And I got to judge a competition last week, which is an international competition using, it's a fusion competition using imported meats, but using local ingredients. And I was really happy to see how chefs are taking up the challenge of innovation and becoming more creative and having a story to the food, you know, and the story is very important to me. So it's not just throwing something in a pan and adding buttercream and salt, pepper, and some herbs and voila. It's about, well, you know, I understand why people stitch together. There has to be a personal story. There has to be a connection. And very much your Louise is very good at that. She tells a great story of Bicol and the chocolate and everything. And of the times I've been to Bicol, I super love your fish market. You have an extremely great fish market. And, you know, I love to see the innovation down there. You guys are very exciting when you cook. So, yeah, it is the future of food. I said it's happening now. But in terms of what I said, yeah, it's happening now.
Yes, yes. And it's really unlimited. The possibility is unlimited, as you've been telling us. Now, next question, Chef, is that we've noticed that successful restaurateurs always need to be on top of the situation, meaning always in the kitchen, managing. Now, how can we encourage millennials, the youngsters, the young people, and the Generation Z to continue into a profession where physical presence is always a must? What's happening in the culinary schools? Do we have face-to-face now? How about in CCA?
Yeah, we do have face-to-face. In terms, we have ongoing, we call it assessment, and we've been back for like 3 weeks. We have short courses the weekend. We're about 18 programs ongoing currently. They're exciting programs, and at the end of the day, it's always about the team members. So together, everyone achieves more. There's no I in team, obviously. There may be a leader. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the technology that we embrace: digital kitchens, cloud-based kitchens. Not everything has to be a masterpiece on a plate, right? There are restaurants that require a lot of management, a lot of focus. But in terms of eating, right, food per se, is that there are many avenues for us to cook for people. Not everything has to be a masterpiece. I always say that, 3 ingredients, give a chef 3 or 4 ingredients and say, cook me an outstanding dish, right? So I always give them a few eggs, and then, give them a little bit of black box challenge and see what they can do with eggs, right? But at the end of the day, is that it's easy to get a piece of foie gras and truffle and throw it on a plate and wow people, but get a local piece of fish and grill it, pan fry it to the right temperature, make sure that the bones are taken out, and do it with a nice sauce or a marinade or what it may be, and wow people with simplicity but good flavors.
Yes. So would you encourage culinary schools to open for face-to-face approach for students?
Again, sorry, there's a little bit of noise in the background there. Could you say that?
Would you encourage the schools now, the culinary schools particularly, to open now for face-to-face?
If you have the protocols and people have their tests, and again, you just have to make sure that the individuals are very responsible for their teammates, like any establishment. Make sure that the protocols are in place to make sure that the virus is not brought into the workplace. Therefore, people have to be very honest about the way they feel. We're very, very fortunate that we have an amazing team at the school, and that we have a lot of checklists and processes in place to make sure that we follow the protocol that's needed to run successfully our programs. So would I encourage? Yes, of course. I mean, absolutely. But just be very sensitive to what has happened in the last 18 months. And just be careful, be diligent.
Yeah, the good thing about culinary school is that you don't limit the age. So even if you're in the 40s or 50s, you can still enroll in that course.
In the 60s. Now, even in the 60s, you can still enroll.
Right, exactly. I remember KFC. Okay, it's a good reminder for everyone. Now, another question is, what are the strengths and weaknesses of the culinary industry here in the Philippines, particularly in the Philippines?
Okay, I don't really like to harp on about the negative side of our business. There's enough negativity out there the last 2 years. The positive side of our industry is that it is regionally growing to be very interesting, with all the connections of all the bridgeways that the government and past governments have put into place. It's great to see cities interconnecting. It's great to see urban-rural spread. It's great to see technology being a big part of the growth of hospitality. Yes, we need to open up our borders when it's safe, to start bringing, I think, February next year, to bring back tourism to, for instance, I just came from Boracay. I was there on a business trip, and there are 1,000 tourists there a day, but it used to be 300,000 a month, right? There's 25,000 jobs in Boracay between Station 1 and Station 3. So I guess if you look at the economy, food, tourism, the ships I'm involved with, before COVID, we have around 14,000 workers on Holland America, Viking Cruise Line, and our partners on the ships. It's very important that we get our people here in jobs and employed, and you enroll in a culinary school to learn about food, and at the end of the day, is that you want to be, for your investment going to a school and learning, you obviously want job placement. And over the years, I have successful now executive chefs, head chefs all over the world that started as students in 2000, 2001, 2002. I'm very proud to see them now as leaders in different countries flying the Filipino flag. So, of course, the borders have to open, and it is and continues to be an exciting time for Filipino chefs throughout the world.
Yes. Now, Chef, suffice to say, what are the threats? And also, I think you've already answered the opportunities of the culinary industry. How about the threats of the
COVID.
industry here?
COVID.
Exactly.
That's it. I mean, at the end of the day, none of
Nothing
us,
else.
as I said, it's COVID, right? So it was a virus that really, compromised the last 2 years of growth. I mean, before that, Philippines was really on a strong, steady path to growth in hospitality, culinary, and what so. And no one saw it coming. And all of a sudden, our lives were held to ransom, and we had to press pause. So the sooner and better that we unpause and move forward. Although I must admit that sometimes the world needs some breathing space, right? And as we see our oceans and we see what's happening to our environment, it has made us rethink and reevaluate what's happening in the world in terms of pollution. And we talk about sustainability and transparency. It has been a good time for us to actually think, and but also frustrating because a chef loves to be in his kitchen cooking, and if you don't have customers, right? Very frustrating.
Yes. Chefs are celebrities in our eyes. Now, another question, what are the main considerations you have to contend with in putting up a restaurant in a certain area? Factors that you have to consider.
Okay. Well, you've got to know your market, right? There's no, you just have to know your market. I mean, I've seen people flock to Sharigao and start setting up restaurants there, bohemian, surfboarding, very healthy. So there's a lot of sport. So of course around there, everything from the poke bowls to the shakes and smoothies and stuff. It's pretty Bali style food, grill, ihao. Then you go to Pampanga, which I'm very fond of. You see a big trend in Korean, Japanese, Chinese food restaurants now. Of course, it's always had strong Filipino cuisine, Pampangan cuisine. So I think that tourists, especially tourists, love to go to an area, wherever, Kamsua, and go there and see the produce being showcased simplistically, but with lots of regional flavors. So I'm sure that in your place you have Filipino restaurants there that have been there 20, 25 years that are, legendary. So that's what I always look for. I look for a restaurant that's been there for a long, long time, has great history, and I hope that it shows through in its regional flavor.
Yeah. Still on the business side, another question is, how do you balance profitability, palatability, and then the ambience and experience in putting a price tag for the menu in your restaurant?
Okay, so it goes back to HR. So in a way, is that our job with chefs? I spend a lot of time bringing in digital cloud-based systems that help chefs in terms of costing. So we have a EGS software, we have Calc Menu, we do ebooks, we do allergens. So in terms of the chef being more business-minded compared to, say, chefs of 20 years ago, where they were stuck 16, 17 hours in a kitchen. During my apprenticeship, you wouldn't think of going in the accounting office. You wouldn't think of really getting involved in the costing side of the business. That was left to an executive chef, cost control, whatever. Now, today, chefs have to really understand and be part of the business plan. Especially in hotels, we see that we're on MANCOM, we're on committees where price and cost is constantly challenged. And yeah, we have to be much more business minded in terms of and in a loop. So between ownership, accounting, and front of house and chefs is where the major expenses of glassware, china, breakages, food cost. I mean, the chef today has to wear many more hats than he used to or her used to. So with the competition, you have to be more business savvy.
Yes, business savvy. So also answering the question, in a career, I usually have this question, am I here for enterprise or heroism? I think a chef should have a balance on that. You are a hero. And
Well,
yet you have to profit. You have to live.
Yeah, I think again, without sacrifice, right? Quality is very important, and I don't mind paying for that, but the customer should understand that there are certain restaurants you go to because you expect, say, premium ingredients, and you expect to pay a price for that. But again, when I grew up in France, you'd have a Michelin-style restaurant, which was really an experience, very lavish, very nice, but you pay for that, right? So like first class, second class, business class, economy. At the end of the day, is that I have just as much fun cooking on a budget or cooking on low end. At the end of the day, is that I still need to understand that I have payroll, rent, suppliers. There's a lot of cost factors in running a restaurant, in running a cooking school. And I spend a lot of time ensuring that I get the right suppliers. I believe that as a chef, I became very entrepreneurial. I set up ChefWorks, my own uniform company, working with my partner. I just didn't rely on food and making revenue from food. So obviously, the chef gets paid a fairly good salary. He's the number 2 or number 1 in the restaurant. So sometimes you just have to sacrifice when you have bad months. So therefore, you still have rent, you still have things to pay. So I think the chef today also has focuses on his business, but also have other related businesses that could pay him or her a better salary. But just relying on a salary coming in from a restaurant, as we know, we have good months, bad months, and we're also bonus related. It's a tough business, but fun.
Yeah.
If you're passionate, it's fun. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that, Chef. Now the questions we have here: if your restaurant is classified catering to high-end markets, Class A and B, will that be a hindrance to possible franchising opportunities outside? If there are interested franchising from you.
Okay, I think it's very difficult to see a franchise of a fine dining restaurant because the chef at the fine dining restaurant is pretty much the person that's in there. And sometimes it's the name on the jacket, right? Whether it's Paul Bocuse or Raymond Blanc or wherever, it's the chef that they want to see there because they feel that is what they're paying for, right? I don't think... Okay, Gordon Ramsay has probably broken the mold, right? Probably be the first billionaire chef. He's everywhere from burgers, pizzas to fine dining, but he has an amazing team. I guess if your number 2 and your number 3 is as good as you or better, right? Then I can understand. I wouldn't want to franchise a fine dining restaurant, but I would want to franchise something that is franchisable and you could keep pretty much consistent. That's also a challenge, right? But franchising a restaurant, I think when you get to the higher end restaurants, it's more of consultancies, right? Where I wouldn't want to franchise a restaurant and not be part, if it's my brand or my name, I would want to make sure that I do my visits every month, my trainings every month, my recipe development every month. So I wouldn't really want to get into, unless it's something that is very scalable. And people are not going to write reviews and say, oh, the chef wasn't here and food was not as good as when we came last time. So it's a double-edged sword. Yeah.
Yes. Another question is not listed on the one that I have here originally. Now, for the future chefs, what do you think is the range of tuition fees? Well, of course, you don't have to think because you already know the figure. What is the range of tuition fees? This is a question from parents and also some college students who are interested in the culinary school. The range of tuition fees in culinary school, like your school, chef, is it true that it's more expensive sometimes than medical schools? And why
Okay,
is it so expensive?
Okay, so it's actually not expensive. Education, it's better to be educated than not educated, right? Because at the end of the day, you're going to get your job. You can get your salary pay scale. I guess education, whether you're a pilot, whether you're whatever, you need to be educated, right? At the end of the day, as I said, there are some chefs that were self-taught, that may grow up in a family of chefs, right? But if you are not fortunate to grow up in a food environment and make it out there on your own, is that fundamentals, the skills that we teach in school. We're kind of unique because we're 25 years in the business. I've been with the school since its second year. We lend our programs, we tailor make programs to places like UAP. We have a 6-month program with them of their 4-year. You can't graduate unless you have a business model and you're making money. We have Holy Angel in Pampanga. So, in terms of lending programs, lending faculty, training the trainers and stuff, we are very unique. We're not another school that may have a French culinary program that charges X amount, and that's all they've got. We have Korean cuisine, Filipino cuisine, Southeastern Asian cuisine. We have French cuisine. So of the 18 programs we have, it can start at a 16-week course for 100,000, maybe 50,000. We've got courses at 50,000, which gives you your apron, your knife kit that we've made, and we're very proud that we worked with local Filipinos to make sure that those knife kits finally were made in the country, and tools that are specific to certain tasks. So the knowledge that's acquired and the confidence that's acquired allows someone to go out there and get a better opportunity. And I don't think an investment of, say, a couple of 100,000 when you can earn that in a month. Most of my guys started out with me in the earlier days on 15, 20, 30,000, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, and now can earn abroad and in some resorts that I put them 100,000, 150,000. So it's an investment like anything, right? Some people like sports cars, and then 50% depreciation. Let's talk about that, right? Versus a skill that you can bring with you all over the world, transfer that knowledge and grow. So I would say that it's an investment. It is not, okay, there are some schools like, the brand out there that have international campuses and can charge more because they have a bigger database of recipes or so on and so forth. But I would urge anybody that has that money, instead of going out and buying the latest sports car or buying, lots of computer stuff, if you are passionate about cooking, that you do enroll in a short course, or you go and do a stint, what we call a stint, in a really reputable restaurant, knock on the door, send your resume in, talk to that person. And then if it's something that you like, we as chefs always like to see that a student has been well prepared for their role in the kitchen.
Yes. Now here's the final question, Chef. Any words or final words for our youth who want to be chefs and who want to be in the same industry? What kind of attitude and preparation should they be doing by now if they want to be there or want to be chefs like you?
Well, yeah, that's a really good question. It's a really good question. But I mean, like any team sport, and I consider the kitchen as a team sport, you have your messes, you have your top players in a football team, but your kitchen is made up of a wide demographic of individuals. Not everyone is going to be a master chef. Everyone's going to be the sous chef. Everyone's going to be the chef de partie. But in terms of the kitchen family, it is a family, and everybody works together for one goal, to make sure that the food comes out that kitchen every single dish that comes out is cooked the way it should be. It's cooked with integrity, honesty, flavor, and that the customer, the client, gets value for money and that honesty in the dish. So that requires discipline. It requires focus. It requires teamwork, especially. It requires patience. We make mistakes. Even now, we can go up and do a cooking demo and the gas is too high, or, things happen, right? It's not like the garment business where I make something and I put it on a rack and then someone orders online and it's delivered, right? Once in a while, maybe the zip comes off, but generally people are forgiving. Restaurants, unfortunately, you are judged by the last meal you serve. It doesn't matter how long you've been around, but that lasting impression of going to a restaurant and having the wine or having the beverage served from the clean glass. There's so many elements of a restaurant, from the chinaware to the cutlery to the greeting to the bathrooms. I mean, you're judged at every corner of the establishment. But that's why I like to just sometimes go and cook for people in their houses and see what they have in their fridge and kind of share my knowledge. And I find that fun and I find that less judgmental. But since Instagram, Twitter, all these social media platforms, right, that when I first came to the Philippines, we didn't have in the last 10 years. And since MasterChef is on TV, everybody out there thinks that they can cook better or do better, whatever. So there's a lot of judges out there. There's a lot of critics, right? But, I always say to those people, come in the kitchen and spend an hour and let's do a dish together. You really see who walks the talk. But you really have to have a passion, and you have to be, it's good to have a great mentor. It's good to have someone that will take care of you in the kitchen. I was very fortunate that my bosses, my partners over the years have mentored me, and I continue to grow. I continue to learn. Been in this industry for 30 years since I was a wee kid, and continue to grow and learn and, put the ego to the side, be as humane as you can be. It is a stressful environment at times. So be careful of your P's and Q's. And I have loved working and do continue to love working in the Philippines because it has made a better person of me. It has its challenges like every country, but it's a great place to cook. And I feel that over the last 25 years, I see continued and great growth all around the Philippines, and probably some of the best food in the regional areas, right? Yeah, so I would love to see food tourism grow tremendously. Flame on, happy cooking. It's an honor for me to spend time with you today to answer these questions. And mabuhay, right? Chase your dream. Merry Christmas. That's it. Yeah, Merry Christmas, and thank you to your school there in Kamsur for inviting me along. But I wish you a happy Christmas. Look on the positive things of life and enjoy food. It's a community. It's a necessity, and never stop growing, learning. Every opportunity you have to support local, your vendors, your fruit guys, your fish guys, your palenques. Do support local and support your restaurants and your budding chefs that are growing there. Support, and stay positive. So flame on.
Flame on. On behalf of the whole CSCCI family and the Fabex, the fourth Fabex, we thank you so much, Chef Philip John Golding, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Chef. Flame on.
Flame on. Thank you very much. Cheers. Okay, here we go. So, yes, thank you very much to Kamsur Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And congratulations on your 4th Food and Beverage Expo. And Merry Christmas to you all.
Camarines Sur Chamber of Commerce and Industry Incorporated, in partnership with the provincial government of Kamsur. Kamsur Business Expo 2021. Ready for a better normal. 4th Food and Beverage Expo. Present this plaque of appreciation to Chef Philip Golding for extending his invaluable contribution and unwavering support as our speaker contributing to the success of the 4th Food and Beverage Expo with the theme Adapting Through Innovation and Reinvention, given this 3rd day of December 2021 at Camsur, Philippines. Signed, Chairperson of the 4th Fabex, Ms. Maria Cecilia M. Magtuto. Expo Chairperson, Camsur Business Expo 2021, Ms. Maria Emma F. Lurin. President, Maria Soledad V. Magtuto.
It's time for the judges' verdict. Isa-isang papasok ang ating mga kalahok, dala-dala ang kanilang mga dishes at ito ay titikman ng ating mga judges. Our first contestant, Franche Venancio.
Good morning, judges. We present our dish Lau Lau Shine from Tinambak, MVCCV, GMVCC, Tinambak.
Hi. The taste is really good. So I think the ginger is a bit medyo marami. So kasi natatalo yung lasa. But overall, the flavor is really kumbaga well balanced overall. Presentation needs improvement. Sana yung mga nandito, yung mga yung pwede na kainin in total. Like hindi yung kung maglalagay ka ng mga garnish, at least yung pwede ng lahat pwedeng kainin para hindi rin sayang. It looks really delicious nung tinitingnan ko kanina, parang medyo nag-crave ako ng ano. So time of preparation was on time naman. So, nakita ko yung binigay sa inyo na 45 minutes, naka-prepare na on time. So, okay naman. Napansin ko kanina yung, yung trimmings ng fish daw, medyo maraming nasasayang. So, since competition naman nito, konti lang, medyo okay lang naman. But, however, kung magpe-prepare ka talaga ng food, by volume, mas maganda kung mas marami tayong, mas konti lang yung trimmings para mas mababa yung food cost natin, if ever.
Our second contestant, Mr. Julio Alano Jr.
Good morning po, Judge. We present of my dish is Daing Lau Lau with lemon butter sauce from Seroma.
So far, kayo yung may pinakamadaling ginawa na dish. So, competition to, dapat nag-effort kayo ng konti pa. No? Halos isa lang yung cooking method nyo, yung ano lang, yung pagprito lang ng isda. First time, competition, first time. So, kung may next time, more effort. Kasi nga competition, di ba? Tapos, flavor profile, butter lemon sa prito, medyo off. So, texture, masarap yung isda. Masarap sa kanin. Tsaka toyo. Sorry. ano lang ako naging honest lang ako kasi constructive naman to if ever gusto nyo pang mag-compete ulit. Yun yung dapat nyo i-consider. Kailangan nyo ng dagdag technique, saka dagdag cooking method. Karamihan hilaw eh. So, yun lang.
Napansin ko lang kanina nung gumagawa kayo ng lemon rind, dapat wag nyo na isama yung puti. Di ba nag-peel kayo? Wag nyo na isama yung puti kasi yun yung mapait na part. So, para next time. And sabi nga ni Chef Eric na medyo sobrang simple lang ng cooking method na ginawa nyo is deep fry lang ng isda. And then, ginawa nyo na ng ano. But thank you very much for
Our third contestant, Mr. Newton Neil Serrano.
Hello, good morning panel of judges. Our dish is buttered lawlaw in a sour and creamy and piquant taste.
What did you add to the cream for it to be sour?
Lemon po.
Only lemon?
Yes.
But if you intend it to be sour, parang hindi ko masyadong malasahan yung sourness niya. Kulang lemon. Ano yung preparation niyo nga sa fish? Did you boil it?
Yeah, not
or
yet,
fry?
not po.
Fry sa butter?
Yes
Yeah.
po. With dry thyme.
No salt at all?
Yes po. Just a salt and butter.
Yun nga. Okay naman yung cooking method nyo. Kaya lang, yung fish bone, medyo pwede naman sigurong i-fillet or talagang you intend this to be whole fish.
Yes po.
Whole lang talaga.
If a lot of time po, if
Hindi
i-play
ba
namin.
na burn easily yung batter nyo?
Ay, hindi naman po. With the simmering.
Controlled fire?
Yes po.
Tapos you intend na yung cream, parang drinisal nyo na lang dito. Hindi
Yes
siya
po.
kasama pagluto.
Hindi na po.
Tama.
Yes po.
Kaya lang yung ibang ingredients, hindi
Well cooked.
mix dun sa supposedly na mo. Karin na. For the cooking technique, make sure if you're using coated pan, like you used earlier, you should not use stainless ladle. Should be wooden or para hindi masira yung coat ng pan mo. Saka yung cream nyo needs constant stirring kasi kanina nahayaan nyo yung cream na pwede siyang what's the right term? Curdle. Parang magka-curd siya. May nga ako na part. Thank you for improvement lang yun.
Our fourth contestant, Mr. Jobet Lustre.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jobet.
And Joels and Maricintura.
Our dish is called steamed lawlaw and fish stew with pineapple tartar sauce. It is appetizer and it is making use of simple ingredients and creative, wonderful starter with dining experience.
It's actually your plating is creative, and we appreciate the steamed lawlaw. Hindi halata yung malangsang taste. A healthy cooking method, of course, and also the sauce. Healthy din siya kasi fresh, di ba? Kasi yung carrots, pag linuto mo siya, magbabawas yung nutritive value niya. Yung only comment lang namin sa dish nyo, yung peanut kasi na-overpower yung taste ng lawlaw. So, how can you remedy that?
Kasi pang gamit namin nuts, di talaga po namin masyadong dinurog. Yan ang lawlaw.
Siguro na lang, room for improvement. Lesser na lang yung peanuts. And medyo pwede nyo pa siyang, to make it fine. Oo. Mas pino yung pagka-chop. Hindi na halata.
Mabilis mo sunod yun. Nakita ko yung ambition, kaso konting refinement pa. Yun lang naman.
Buti nila, yung pineapple nyo pala, you're going to use it for your sauce. So, hindi na halata sa sa presentation, sa plating. Pero next time, if you're going to compete, you have to really check kung okay yung tools nyo. Kasi nahirapan kayo, feeling ko din yun, nakabawas sa oras nyo, naka-consume pa yun ng time kasi struggle yung pag-pair nyo ng pineapple. So yun lang, for improvement. Pero I appreciate the fact that you used 2 chopping boards, of course, to avoid cross-contamination. Yung preparation of the fish and the vegetables.
Thank you po.
Okay, sir. So, nakikita ko yung creativity, yung parang gusto nyo makakreate ng dish na maganda. But kailangan mag-stick tayo sa basics bago tayo makaproduce na something let's say pag be-breading ka, kailangan season everything. Like kanina tinatanong ko kung nilagyan mo ba rin seasoning yung flour, yung egg and yung kasi kailangan every stage may seasoning para lumabas yung hindi mo pwedeng ilagay sa fish, for example, yung seasoning lahat and then yung mga breading wala na. Kasi ang mangyayari, pag nalasahan lang yung breading, yung flour, yung egg, wala nang lasa. Tapos and then saka lang makakarating sa fish.
Thank you, sir.
Ayun. So hopefully yun din yung mga ganitong fish, kung dinibone nyo na sana para at least pagkakainin, especially sa mga ganitong pagkain, parang mga hors d'oeuvre or canapes, kailangan one bite, yung parang hindi na kami matatakot na kainin kasi may tinik pa. So yun nga, so medyo kulang yung lasa medyo kulang. Pero yun nga, yung creativity, yung kung paano kayo mag-isip, parang gusto ko yun. But we have to stick with the basic din para Thank you.
Our 5th contestant, Mr. Mark Cscci Guevara.
Morning po. Ano po siya, ma'am? Ang pangalan po ng dish namin, ma'am, is korlaw po. Pig. Ano po kasi, ma'am, pig. Base po namin kasi, ma'am, sa looks na parang pang-Korean pero pang-Filipino style po.
Did you use oyster sauce or
Yes po, ma'am.
soy sauce lang?
Oyster sauce po
Oyster
yun,
sauce,
ma'am.
tama.
Soy sauce po.
Pero hinalo niyo yung oyster sauce after frying. After frying. Mm. So yung common comment namin, parang nasobrahan lang sa extender, yung fish, na overpower na yung flavor ng fish. So sana mas lumataw pa yung flavor ng fish. Mm. Pero masarap siya. Did you intend to slice this in different thickness? Kasi iba-iba siya. May 1 inch, parang may 3/4.
Yes po.
Do you intended to do that?
Yes po, ma'am, kasi hindi na sizes.
Ayan. So medyo nakulangan lang kami sa plating, sa presentation. Pero as to the taste, okay siya. Approve siya sa amin. And then, ano pa ba? I appreciate the fact na ano ba yun? Okay naman yung cleaning area, yung area nyo. Pero ano na lang po, make sure na while preparation, yung mga waste, food waste, yung mga peelings, dapat nasa ano po siya, plastic bag, hindi yung nagkalat dun sa chopping board and the working area. Okay, thank you. Sir, may i-add.
Okay. Kung ni-roast nyo yung bell pepper kasi mas lalabas yung lasa. However, nung natikman ko kasi, mas malakas na yung lasa ng bell pepper kaysa sa fish itself. Na kumbaga, ang celebrity natin dito is yung lawlaw. Dapat yun yung papalabasin nyo na lasa. Nakita ko naman yung effort and yung gusto nyo i-produce. Kaya lang kasi, importante kasi yung taste ng mga every ingredient. Kailangan And if yung lawlaw yung hindi ko na kasi malasahan masyado. Natatalo ng oyster, natatalo ng bell pepper. Binoil nyo kasi to, di ba? Boil. So, mas nagiging bland yung lasa. Dapat siguro grill para lumabas yung lasa and mas maraming meat. And yung presentation, sana mas better. Kasi pag without the proper presentation, yung iba, hindi gaganahan, hindi nila alam. Kasi kami, nakita namin how you prepared it na parang, interesting. However, kung ako kasi biglang titingnan ko lang, parang, ano yan? Like, ano to? Like, I won't be able to understand it. Dapat kasi, you feed the eyes first before actually yung taste.
Hi, good morning. Actually, sinabi na po nila lahat. So, ang comment ko na lang, yun nga, yung lasa na overpower na ng bell pepper and then yung garnishing pa, nakadagdag, which is yung onions. Mas marami pang, mas marami ata yung carrot sa loob. Yun, siguro, tapos yun nga, pag kinakat mo, sumasabog na siya. So, yun lang. Ang ko na lang is, next time na gagawa nito, make sure na kung ganito na yung cut ng pepper, okay na siya na ganyan. Kasi, nakakaumay na yung ilalagay pa siya sa mas malaking, okay na yung size niya na ganyan. Yun lang. Okay, yung lasa okay naman siya. Thank you.
The verdict is in. Sino kaya ang magwawagi dito sa ating Fabex? Naka-apron na rin ako. Okay? Abangan dito lang sa 4th Fabex Shine Lawlaw Shine Cooking Competition.
And that ends the first day of our Fabex 2021. We've learned how to set up online businesses through a legit way. Got truly inspired by the success stories of our local online food entrepreneurs and savored insights from world-renowned chefs. We'll see you all tomorrow for the day 2 of our expo. And once again, thank you very much for sharing your time and participation with us. On behalf of the most outstanding chamber in South Luzon, the Camsur Chamber of Commerce and Industry Incorporated, we would like to thank all of you for your support and participation in this event. For more information, visit the official CSCCI Facebook page and YouTube channel. This has been your host, Jada Dake, saying thank you very much. We wish you to have a great day and see you all tomorrow. Dios mabalos po.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for the 4th Food and Beverage Expo 2021. Bronze sponsor, Diageo Philippines Incorporated. Silver sponsors, Bean Leaf Coffee and Tea. Gold sponsors, Samyup Masarap, Tugawe Cove Resort, Department of Agriculture, Region 5. We would like to thank our valued partners for the year 2021. Province of Camarines Sur, Department of Agriculture, Region 5, Department of Trade and Industry, Angina Trading, GCI Construction and Development Corporation, Jurassic Construction and Supplies, Pixeled Solution, Medlane Enterprises, Ngo & Sons Trading and Industries Incorporated, SVM Marketing Solutions OPC, Tugawe Cove Resort,